episode of My Story. As I normally say, everyone has a story behind his success. It may be a successful story or a challenge that you went through in life. This is where we normally discuss about your story. Whatever you've gone through in life, maybe it will encourage somebody, it will help somebody to heal from the ills that he or she has gone through. My name is Samson Boyd, and if you want to talk to us, you can touch our social media platforms, that is Facebook, Riverside TV, KE. Our email is riversidetvke@gmail.com. You can as well call us on 0707 126 050. If you have a story, talk to us, call us, touch our social media platforms. We will come to you, we will talk to you, we will share your story with somebody who is in such a problem or challenge. And today we are privileged to have one guest, a man of God, a servant of the Lord, who will be sharing with us about his life challenges, whatever he has gone through. Maybe it will encourage you, so stay tuned. Thank you.
So, brother, kindly introduce yourself to us, tell us your names and where you were born.
Okay, my name's Pst.Kizito Aswani. I was born in Kakamega at a place called Msoli in Ikolomani.
Kolomani. Kolomani is in Western.
Yeah, Kolomani is in Western.
Okay.
So basically that's where I come from.
Okay. So tell us about your family, where you were born.
Yeah, as I said, I was born in Kakamega, Msoli, Ikolomani, and my family is also there, and I'm a village boy. I grew up in Msoli from my childhood to my adulthood. I learned in Msoli primary, went to Imbade secondary, in the same place, and I come from a family that is polygamous. My father had 2 wives, and my mom is the second wife. But now in the Luya culture, we call her, she was remarried by my father, because the brother to my father died, and now my father was to take my mom to take care of the late brother's children, and that's how we came into being as my family. So I'm the 4th born in my mother's womb, but I am like the 7th born in the whole family. So my father is still alive, my mom is still alive, and they are all in the village. And I have also my brother and my sisters. Some of them are here in Nairobi, and others are still back to Kakamega.
Wonderful. You said your mom was married by, okay, your biological dad,
Yeah.
Aston. So
No. My uncle passed on.
Yes, your uncle passed on.
But now my biological dad, who is alive now,
Yes,
was to remarry my mom.
that is what in English word we call it wife inheritance.
Exactly.
So your mom was inherited from after your uncle passed on.
Yes.
And after that time, that is how you came to be born now.
Yes.
Wonderful. You told us you went up to secondary school.
Yes.
Did you go to college?
I was in primary, and in primary life was not that good. I went through some humiliation here and there. To me, now I can see it as humiliation, but when I was a young child, I didn't see it.
Exactly.
Yeah, because my father was not that in a position to take us to school. So what he could do, he come to school, he maybe cuts the grass, he maybe splits the firewood, or he does something at the school for us to go to the school.
In exchange of your school fees.
Yes, in exchange of school fees.
So, generally, let's say he was doing many jobs so that now you can learn in the school.
Exactly.
Now, let me ask you.
Yes.
Being from a polygamous family, I know there are challenges.
Yes.
Because now your biological father,
Yes.
did he have another wife?
Yes, that's he did wife inheritance. That means he was already having my stepmom.
Your stepmother.
Yes.
Good. Now, I know when this happens in the family, there is always the favored one.
Yes.
The most liked wife. I don't want you to tell me whether it is your mom or the other one, but I know you can tell which family is more favored than the other.
Okay, it's a hard one because I'm already there.
You're here.
But I can say, okay, people say it is the younger family that
Yes.
is favored.
Yes.
But to me, I don't want to say much about my father, but I can say we really suffered a lot with being the younger family.
Yes.
Because you remember, it was like you came.
You came in.
You came in.
Yes.
So most of the privileges were going to my stepmom, who was the older woman.
The first wife.
Yeah, the first wife. So for us, I think we went through some of the challenges because of that.
Yes.
Yeah, that's you came in, so we didn't really get the privilege of now the younger wife.
Yes.
Just because we were intruders, if we can put it that way.
You came in to disturb our peace.
Yes.
You came to bother us in our family. So now you should bear the blunt side of the knife.
Exactly. Although my dad tried as much as he could to make sure that we are living in peace.
Okay.
Because he could, he tried to balance. And you find I have my sister age mate like me.
Yes.
And we were born like on the same year. It's a brother the brothers born the same year. So he tried to balance this house and this house and children, and also when he gets something, he brings this side. But you see, those things are still there.
They are still there.
You came.
Yes. You came in to disturb our peace.
Exactly.
Wonderful. Now you are through with school now. You said you went up to. Did you go to secondary?
Yeah, I went to secondary. I was still giving some story.
Yes.
Through all that, I went to secondary, and my secondary was not that really also. Now, do you know the first shoe I went with in my school? It was made by my father. So
You're making me laugh.
So maybe I wish he can make a factory, maybe by the name Amtala Shoe Factory. What he did, he went and looked for a piece of wood, 2 of them, and he tried to shape them in form of a shawl. Then he told me to go and look for something like a skin. Lucky enough, I went to the banana plantations. I got 2 skin, a leather skin. I think it was a leather shoe that was spoiled. So don't ask me, because I found one, and then like after 2 other weeks, I found another one.
So were they the same color?
No, not of course.
I like that.
And one was like kind of plastic, and the one was leather.
Yes.
So I brought to him. Actually, he mounted the skins on this wooden thing, and that was my shoe.
And you went to school.
I went to school, and the first day I went to school, it was not that good.
I can imagine.
Everyone is happy is in Form 1. And you see, already my shoe is telling stories.
Yes.
And the uniform I wore was from my cousin, because my cousin was going to that school, and you can see he's such a tall man.
Yes.
Very big. But me, I'm still thin, but I have to put him on to go to school, because I'm also happy.
Sure.
Okay, by that time I got like 500 marks out of 700.
That is good.
It is back 1996.
That's good.
Yeah. So when I went and so everyone, they're happy of being Form 1. But to me, number one, they needed like 11,000 for me to join Form 1.
Shillings.
11,000 shillings.
That was a lot of money by then.
Yes. And my father only has 600 shillings.
600 shillings only.
Yes, 600 shillings. And to add on that, I must be having the books, the textbooks and all that.
Yes.
Of which I don't have. Thank God. God has his own ways.
Exactly.
My father was kind of a PTA something treasurer to the board.
Okay, of the school.
And you see, the law remains that when you're coming to Form 1, you have to pay. So
exactly.
Whether you are a treasurer or not,
you have to pay.
So I'm telling you, I went to school at around 7, but I was cleared around 5.
7 in the morning,
yes.
Then 5 in the evening.
So what was happening was all along, because I don't have things that I have to go to them in the school. So my father has now to go to, because there were some neighbor kids who were in the school.
Yes.
But you see now, at the beginning of the day, you just have to show that I have textbooks.
Exactly.
Okay?
Yes.
So what my father did, he went to classrooms specifically to look for Those
The neighbor
kids,
kids, yes,
yeah,
yes.
tell them, give me mathematics, give me English, give me this, give me this. Then within no time,
You had all the books.
he had all the books.
Jesus.
But now, what they didn't know was these books are borrowed.
Yes.
And it came to me, and I didn't know what he was doing.
Yes.
It was so painful because after that, he had to explain to me
Yes.
that you see, you have to take back the books.
The books. Now that you are in school.
Yeah. And that idea came like around 11, 12. And remember, I've been there, he was talking to the bursar, he was talking to the headmaster. The headmaster was like, I cannot be, just admit the boy without textbooks.
Sure.
So he got the trick. He went and got the books he brought. Then the school fees now. We need 11,000. At least half of it.
Yes.
But he still has 600.
600.
So he pleaded with the headmaster. Thank God, because of Mr. Joseph Chitara, he was a good man.
Mm-hmm.
Can say that he somehow told him let
the boy come in.
So he came in at around 5.
Mm-hmm.
So at least he bought me some exercise books, 5 of them out of the 12 that were needed.
Mm-hmm.
So I was going and I showed the desk, and everyone was like, they came to my desk and said, give me my Kiswahili, give me mathematics. So within a span of 2 minutes,
you don't have any textbook.
I have a textbook. I only have my 5
exercise books.
Thank God, God made me go through it, because I went, and also, you remember the school began around January mostly, and not January but February. Now I'm in the middle March.
Yes.
Because I was trying, I think because of the reliance of the school fees, I don't have nothing. And when I went there, the first exam we did, I've not been in school, but it was only like after 2 weeks we did an exam.
Yes.
I was the second in class.
Number 2. That
So,
was good.
Yeah, I really thank God for that. And I think it brought every teacher to me. This boy just came here the other day.
Yes.
And even in class, they knew some teachers, like Mr. Jacob, my class teacher. He brought me the exercise books.
Oh, wonderful.
There was nothing I could do.
Yes.
He brought me the exercise books, and I started there. So with the textbooks, don't even ask. Because now, remember, I've come in late.
Yes.
So I have to make notes. I have to do all that. But I sacrificed as much as I could. I remember Mr. Mohanda, my history teacher, telling me, don't worry. Everyone has a history.
Sure.
You'll make it.
You'll make it.
And it happened all that. So that is my part of earlier secondary. And when I got into the system, the way God works, by that time I was not born again.
Yes.
But God was working for me.
Sure.
And you know, for you to be a head student, you have to be in Form 3.
Exactly.
But God worked a miracle. The head student that was there by that time, he misbehaved. That not the head student, but the deputy student. So because the head students are always in Form 4, so the deputy ones are the ones who come to be head student. And I'm in Form 1.
Yes.
And by good chance, I say by good chance to me, whether the boy misbehaved with a girl in one of the classrooms.
Yes.
So it was like, we don't want this man to be the head student.
Yes.
And to be the deputy, because now the next year he'll be
the head.
So I think I was my deputy teacher, Mr. Miyami, was so happy. I think he loved me somehow, and also Mr. Chitaha also loved me somehow. So I think they just said, we have to take this boy to be the deputy. You see, I'm in Form 1.
Wonderful.
I've never been a prefect, and I don't know. Of course, I was really admiring, because there was some hatred from one of the prefects. I was the one who was washing the toilets every morning.
Every day.
Whether I'm on duty or not, every day was washing. So I asked him, Mr. Lubang, what is wrong with me that I have to wash
the toilets daily?
Now he told me clearly that your cousin was a prefect when I joined.
Yes.
And what I'm doing to you, he used to do to me. So he was revenging.
He was revenging.
Yeah. Okay, but now all that happened. I became the head student in Form 2 now.
Form 2.
Yeah, deputy in Form 1, and then Form 2, I'm
head student.
Now, you see, it is like now I have to learn everything.
Sure.
All you see, even now the prefects in Form 4, they have to come to me
as
to
consult.
And by that time, in that year, you see, it was like the head student was the one like the overall. you have a say even to the teachers.
Yes.
So they have to come console me. I have a meeting with the teachers and all that. And God, thanks to be God, because God gave me that favor. All the teachers loved me, and all the prefects loved me.
Wonderful.
Now, remember, there's a school fees problem.
Yes.
Now
there's the shoes problem.
Yeah, shoes problem. And everyone looks at it. Is he the head student? But now my head is up. I don't want to know what you are saying, but now I'm the one.
You don't even want to look at your shoes.
Yeah, I'm the one who is here. And once the first time, there was some jobs that was to be done at the school. We were planting grass. So they were like clearing a field and planting this, the Kikuyu grass, the one that makes the field very good.
Very good, very nice.
So in Form 1, I told my headmaster I have to be there. They were those that were needed, they were given some money. But for me, I said, no, I don't want money. So Mr. Chitara said, now what do you want? I told him, I don't know, Mr. Chitara, because I don't have from uniform, from the school fees, from all that. I think he was tight. And he gave me everything in terms of the uniform.
Wonderful.
Everything but the shoes.
That is God.
God did it.
God is working.
Now in Form 2, I was born again.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I had no otherwise.
Yes.
God has been moving me through all this.
Yes.
I got born again. And my story of being saved was just another one. I won't go into it right now. I was doing manual jobs now in school.
Okay.
Because now I'm somehow 13 or 14 years.
Yes.
I can do some things. I can wash it, and yes, I can do what I can do to keep my school.
But now you are not washing the toilets.
No, at least
you are the big boss.
I'm the big boss. I can now command. And I thank God because now I knew what I went through when I was in Form 1. So I didn't want that humiliation to any other student. Exactly. And if I heard that anyone is being humiliated at Form 1, you see, during our time, you were beaten by the head student. I know. I call you in my office, I give you like 2, and then you go. So,
it was another institution.
Yeah. So, but I thank God because when I was in Form 2, I was to drop out of the school. Now, my school fees has accumulated to around 38,000. Remember, I was to join with 11. I did, and my father didn't pay anything because he didn't have money. So I think Mr. Chitara was looking at this is my PAD treasurer, PTA treasurer.
Yes.
And how can I just send the boy? He didn't. So he was in school.
Yes.
Without anything. But Basa has to do his work.
Exactly.
He came at the end of second year. I think it was the third term. He said, this boy, his school fees is 38,000. He has to go home. So I went home. And you see, you have to go through the Basa's office.
Exactly.
Before you get to the deputy, and then you go to the classroom. Now, it was a hurdle. The bursar didn't want to see my father because he knew it is problem. So I took like 3 weeks in my Form 2, not going to school. And remember, I'm the head student.
At home. So who was performing your duties? The deputy?
The deputy, and it's like things were not moving. Because like there was no phone call by that time.
Yes.
So, but now I could get reports from the neighbors that you see this happening. Mr. Muyembe wants to see you. But now, how can I go and see Mr. Muyembe?
And you're not clearing your face.
Yeah. So, but now it came to the time of examination. I went personally because I sent my mom. My mom couldn't go because she says, "No, it is your father who goes to school."
Yes.
He has to go. My father couldn't because he knew what was happening.
Exactly.
Got up. You see, I have a uniform anyway. Went to school.
Yes.
I went straight away to my principal's office, Mr. Joshua. Mr. Joshua, let it be the end of my school, at least in Form 2. Let me do the exams.
Then you finish.
I can tell anyone comfortably, you help me finish my Form 2. Let me just do my end year exams. I did it. And I was crying in Mr. Chitara's office that allowed me to do this. He told me, you are my head student. I want to help you. And now, I can't unless now I get in my own pocket and pay your school fees. Okay, I don't know what was running in his mind by the time he was telling me that. So we went home, and as usual, we closed schools. And
now, have you done your exams?
Thank God I did. He allowed me. He said, no more, don't talk, go to class. He called Mr. Muyembe, my deputy. I made the deputy now principal. let this boy be in class, do the exams. Then after the exams, we shall know what next.
You sure?
Thank God. Remember, I've been at home, but
For 3 weeks.
Yeah, for 3 weeks. They were preparing. And even in Form 2, I don't have textbooks, but I'm really relying on the teacher's notes and all this. I also became number 3.
Number 3.
Number 3.
You've been away for 3 weeks.
Yes.
Then you do the exams.
Yeah.
You are number 3.
Number 3.
That is good.
And I am telling you, God is good.
Wonderful.
So that year, the BOG sat down, and I think there was some bursary that were being listed out for bright
Students.
students.
Yes.
And you know what? I was number 1 on the list.
Wonderful.
And all the school fees, all the arrears, 38 was cleared.
Wonderful.
Then my next year's fee was cleared.
That is good.
And I'm telling you, I saw God.
That is good.
Yeah, so God helped me. I finished, but now when in my Form 3, no much problems. And because I was a head student, nobody, I was untouchable. Nobody would touch me.
Yes.
Because I have to be in school.
Exactly.
And now when I went in Form 4, now there is the Form 4 registration fee, but that time it was around 12,000. There is the Form 4 school fees. Now I think what I don't know what had happened to the government. They're not giving money for bursaries.
Bursaries, yes.
Nobody's there to support me. Now also the problems start.
Again now.
Again.
And this is the final year.
This is the final year. Ups and downs, ups and downs. Now also, they're not really depending on me in terms of the head student, because now you see there is always my deputy
who is waiting.
Yeah, who is waiting.
Yes.
Now because they want to be used, and I have to mentor him.
Yes.
And I thank God because of Mr. Billy. He's my friend here in Buruburu. Because he took it positive, and he was going through it with me. He used to deal properly. And finally, to some extent, I was to just get out of the school, go to the school fees.
No school fees.
No school fees.
Now you have to go.
I have to go home. So I did that at home for some time. But I was also recalled.
Back to the school.
I'm still the head student, and also have to go back and learn.
Yes.
So Mr. Chita just said, no, the principal by that time was changed to someone else. So he just told me, be in school.
Yes.
I went to school, I learned through all that. Okay, finally, I did my exams.
Form 4 now?
Yeah, Form 4.
Yes.
Thank God, I finished my Form 4. And I was to join college.
Yes.
The papers came to join college. I couldn't go.
No fees.
No fees. Came now, my uncle has told me to come to Nairobi. He would take me to, I wanted to go to KMTC. So
you wanted to be a doctor?
I wanted to be a doctor. But now I'm a doctor by the grace of God, treating the people of God.
Wonderful.
So he told me I come here, but I came here and he told me now I have your cousins that have to go to school. I cannot manage. So I started doing Mijengo. So when I started doing Mijengo, I remembered my brothers and sisters at home. I wanted them to go to school.
Sure.
So I do Mijengo, but you go to school.
So money goes home.
Yeah, I forget about going to the university now. Completely. It was like 2 years.
For 2 good years.
Yes.
Mijengo, money is going home.
Yeah.
And nothing about furthering your education.
Yeah. And you see, I'm born again. And I'm still trusting God. I met one man in that Mijengo that he told me, I want to help you, but now you have to change to be an SDA.
7 days.
Yes, 7 days. You see, by that time, okay. I didn't know all about 7th day, so I told him, Mr. Simi, maybe I told him, if you accept, you do. So I think on those bases, I really wanted to go to college, but now the issue of religion and all this now, I had to think about it. I said, no, I won't. Then we continued doing the Mijengo.
Okay.
So I continued, thank God. Uchumi supermarket was doing very well.
Yes.
My cousin saw it on a newspaper. And they were employing people. She applied it for me.
Yes.
I went. I never used a computer. But now they are there. There's a question that you have to use a computer and all that. Do you know I did it with the grace of God? and
That was good.
you have to get 80% out of everything.
You're too daring.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I got 80.
80.
Just the plasma. And that is how, like after 6 months they called me.
Yes.
I got it in June.
Mm-hmm.
Now the salary was better.
Yes.
Than the Mjengo.
Exactly, yes.
And their life was trying to be better now.
Mm-hmm.
But now June started also
shaky. Mm-hmm.
We were thrown out because by that time we were still casuals.
Sure.
So we were thrown out. But you see, life has to continue.
Exactly.
I had to go to security.
Mm-hmm. Soldier.
A soldier.
Mm-hmm.
And you see, I'm tall. You can look at me, I'm tall.
Yes.
And sometimes there are spirits that really affect people. It's
I know.
rejection.
Mm-hmm.
I went to KK,
Mm-hmm.
security.
Security guards.
Yeah, still under.
Yes.
And I was very happy that I'm tall and all that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I went there. There's a kind of thing they use for you to go through,
Mm-hmm.
like the one they use in the police.
Yes.
That height.
That, yes.
I went through that height and I went like, I'm very short.
You are short.
Yeah, and those guys are ex-police and they don't even try to plead with you. They
Sure.
Go. Don't even look back. I went.
You went home.
And I went crying.
Discussed.
How? Of all the people, I'm tall. I know I'm tall.
Yes.
How can you tell me I'm short? And I'm looking at the other guys there.
Yes.
They are as tall as me. So what is the problem with me? I went home and I was heartbroken and all that.
I know. I can understand.
Someone told me don't give up.
Don't despair.
Yes.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
I went also. All that happened.
Mm-hmm.
God, finally I got the security job.
Another company or the same?
No, it's the same.
The same.
God worked a miracle. I went and I tried myself.
Mm-hmm.
He told me, I think you might not be okay, but go through.
Go through.
I went through it.
Mm-hmm.
I was second.
Mm-hmm.
You do exams in that place.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I became number 1 overall.
Wow.
And the what you call parade, the marching was so
Yes,
difficult
yes.
for me. I couldn't, but I became number 1. I got the security job.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you,
Mm-hmm.
I went to the university through Mr. Eric Overvest. He got my story.
Mm-hmm.
He told me, you are so young to be in security.
Sure.
And you'll still be my guard, but go to school. He went and paid my school fees at the Nairobi University, evening classes.
Mm-hmm.
I remember the check,
Mm-hmm.
450,000
Thousands. By somebody who is a stranger, you've just met.
I'm working for him as a security company.
Yes.
And remember, I only was introduced to him by the security company.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, you'll be here as my guard.
Mm-hmm.
I pay security. I pay the company for you, of course.
Yes.
But go back to school.
Now, let me ask you. This guy who paid your university fees, is he the owner of the security company or is a client of the security company? A client.
He is a client by the UN. You see, KK head client.
Yes. Now I get it.
Yeah, UN commercial. So he was a UN client,
Mm-hmm.
and I was deployed at his gate.
Ah, good.
And even the way he decided that I shall remain there
Mm-hmm.
is another story. Because I was there as a reliever. A reliever means when you go on off, I come there.
Exactly.
When she goes on off, I come there.
Mm-hmm.
And now he said, this man is a good man. Let him be here as a regular guard. That means
Let him stay
every day.
permanently.
Permanently. Get another reliever.
Yes.
Let someone come to relieve him when he's going on off.
Mm-hmm.
It is the grace of God.
So let me ask you, this money he has paid for your school fees
Yes.
in University of Nairobi.
Yes.
Did he think of how could he have thought of deducting the money from your salary or the remittances he was doing to the company?
No,
or
he
what?
couldn't do that because he's paying directly. UN company, the UN is paying directly to KK.
Ah, okay.
And even to make it better,
Mhm.
he came in with my own house. It was
Mhm.
difficult for me, my brother.
To accommodate him.
Yeah, because I was working, yes, but I couldn't pay my. I was trying to also try to do my own courses when I was there. But he came to in my house.
Mm-hmm.
I was paying 400 shillings.
The house.
Also, sometimes it was very difficult for me to pay.
Mm-hmm.
But now he started also to pay me 8,000 shillings. Apart from what he has paid, apart from what he's paying to the company,
Mm-hmm.
he's also paying me 8,000 shillings.
And the company was also paying you.
Yes.
That was God.
Life has now begun.
Wonderful.
Amen.
God can do wonders.
That's true, my brother.
You are in the university,
Yes.
evening classes,
Yes.
and somebody paid for you the school fees.
Yes.
Somebody you just met at his gate.
Yes.
This is God working for you.
That's a miracle.
Viewers, we are going for a short break. We have heard the story of our brother, Pastor Servant of God, what he went through from childhood to Nairobi, where he became a security guard. And time has come when God has opened his floodgates of blessings to him. Let's go for a break. When we come back, we'll hear more about his workplace and family. Don't touch that button.
Are you in marriage, relationships, drug abuse, parenting? This is the show where we talk about issues affecting our society. A platform where the young, old, men, women, singles and married get advice from professionals. So join me, Davina Anyanga, every Saturday at 6:30 p.m. for life-changing discussions here at Riverside TV. See you then.
Oh, I just need my one-on-one time with you. I might be selfish, but I just can't.
Welcome back to part 2 of my story with our brother, our guest today, for a blessing from God. He is now in the University of Nairobi, fees having been paid by a stranger, his boss, somebody who he didn't know before he came to Nairobi. Remember, you can talk to us through our Facebook page, Riverside TV KE. You can email us, riversidetvk@gmail.com. You can as well call us on 0707-126-050. Share your story. We'll come to you, or we'll invite you for an interview. We'll talk to you and we share your story. Back to the story. My brother, now you are in the University of Nairobi.
Yes.
What were you studying?
I was doing programming.
Programming.
Yeah, and I can say it was because when I was a young man, I really wanted to work with the computers.
Okay.
So I just say, let me go and do this and see where I go with it. Okay, I have a degree in that. I've also I have a master's degree, but not in this, but now in what I am now as a pastor. I have a master's degree in theology. And all this also was by the grace of God. Someone took me to school, I did a degree, I did a master's, and also I've gone to the college, I've done psychology, and all these things, I'm telling you, is by the grace of God. I'm getting people who are telling me, let us help you do it.
Tell me, how was the reaction of your parents at home, your siblings, when they heard that now our brother, our son is in the university?
Yeah, everyone was happy because I think by the grace of God, I was like the first one in the whole family.
Your father's family?
My father's family.
Or the clan?
Okay, not the clan. I can't really tell the clan.
Yes.
Because in my clan we have teachers. Or in the village, I know there's a headmaster who is a learned man. There's a neighbor there, he's a learned man. So I may not say in
The clan, by the family.
By the family.
The extended family.
The extended family.
Yes.
You see, and everyone was very happy about it.
Wonderful.
Because it was, you see, it was success in itself.
Exactly.
And everyone was thanking God for what He has done for me.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you went through university, you finished everything?
Finished everything. Remember, I'm still a guard.
Yes.
I'm still on the gate of Mr.
At the
Eric.
gate of that
Mr.
guy.
Eric. And Mr. Eric always he had a plan for me. And I really thank him wherever he is. Because he had a plan for me to get to the UN. He wanted me to be employed in the UN.
The UN.
Yeah, but that was shortcut. He was to shift from Nairobi to Syria.
Okay.
Yeah, that's when everything didn't go the way he wanted. But he wanted, his main aim was me to go to there. But he didn't need me there. Okay?
Yes.
I finished my university while I was with him. And it was just, it was almost on the verge when he was leaving that I was finishing.
Okay.
So he went to KK Security and he talked to Mr. Peter Kadovili, also is a good friend of mine. He told him, this young man, he came as a guard. But now, and remember, when I was on this gate also, because remember I did well in the training as a guard.
Yes.
And KK has a very good system of promoting people. So while at the gate, they brought papers to Mr. Eric that your guard wants to be promoted to be a supervisor. Okay? And he declined because he asked me, what is all about this? I told him, once I'm promoted, then I will no longer be your guard.
Yes.
I have to go to
the office?
To the office. No, not really the office, but to the backup. You see the backup cars that move around?
Yes.
That car has a crew. And that crew is being led by the supervisor, who is the crew commander.
Yes.
With these 2 or 3 crews. So, and that guy gets a little bit more than the guard and the crew.
Yes.
So I asked him, how much are they going to give to you? I told him, from the guard, they add you like 8,000. That's the reason why he added me.
The 8,000.
Because he didn't want me to be like wasted.
Yes.
He told me what I'll do, go to their training, become a supervisor, and come back to my gate.
That is
Okay.
somebody with a lot of trust in you.
Yeah. So he told me, he used to tell me, Aswani, you see, I trust you because I leave my car with you. He was not married, man. I leave my car with you, I leave my house with you, I leave everything with you when I'm going. So, and you're the one who is in charge of this compound. Okay. He used to say, I don't trust my night guards. They're good, but I don't trust them. So I was the day guard for this reason. So, and he went to those guys, to my boss, and he told him all that. And you see, when you're in the field, there are people, the field officers, the supervisors, they come and they're like, you have been promoted by KK, and what are you doing here as a guard? So, okay, there is what we call you are trying to befriend the client, so that you become the best one. So it was kind of bringing hatred. That why are you befriending the client for you to become the best? But I was like, no, I'm not. He's the one.
Yes.
And then they were telling me clearly, when you are out of this gate as a guard, we are telling you will be finished. Because we want you to be the supervisor, you don't want. We want you to be the field officer, you don't want. So be there as a guard, and when he's gone, go with him.
Go with him.
God had a plan.
Yes.
So when this guy was almost leaving, he took me to the office. I became a staffing officer. A staffing officer means you are actually just a staffing officer, okay?
Yes.
You are looking after the staffs. But now, for this case, I was looking under the staff, UN guards.
Okay.
I had like 1,000 guards under me. And money is coming.
Sure.
Now, of course, there is a promotion. Now, from the guard to where I am, my salary is like 4 times.
Wonderful.
And God also worked away. I had also, someone also just gave me some Eritreans to teach them Kiswahili. So I was now teaching Kiswahili to Eritreans. So money is coming in.
There's good flow.
Yeah, there's good flow. By that time I got married. There's a story with my marriage. I may not say it now, but there's a story. I had a girl and I really loved her at my younger age.
Now, before we get there,
Okay.
you are in that office.
Yes.
Now you've become a staffing
Officer.
officer.
Yes.
So you were in charge of this
1,000 guards.
1,000
Yeah,
guards.
security guards. But working under the UN, they are under the UN section.
Mm-hmm.
Because KK, we were divided like the UN.
Yes.
The commercial
Mm-hmm.
are like the guards who can just come and guard the door, the
Mm-hmm.
doors.
Mm-hmm.
Then we have the industrial guards, those
Mm-hmm.
who are in the industries.
Mm-hmm.
That's how they were divided. Then we are the US, you have the US guards
Mm-hmm.
that are guarding the US embassy and these
Mm-hmm.
European things. So,
Mm-hmm.
but I was now under the UN.
Okay. Now, your siblings at home.
Yes.
You told me you are the second born?
The fourth.
The fourth born.
Yes.
Now, how was the relationship between you and them? Were you helping them through school or things changed?
I was to help them through everything because, as I told you, my family is funny. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Remember, there is a stepfather,
Sure.
there is a stepmother,
Mm-hmm.
and there is my mom.
Mm-hmm.
And even on my mom, I still have some step brothers.
Mm-hmm.
It's a story that we don't really want to talk about because we grew together as brothers. Nobody knew about it.
Sure.
But remember, my mom came with other children from my
From
uncle.
the older marriage.
Then
Mhm.
my father took him.
Yes.
So I'm having step brothers, sisters all over, from my
All
mom
over. Yes.
and from my father.
Yes.
But all of them, they were happy.
It's a challenge.
Yeah, it's a challenge.
It's a challenge,
Yeah,
it's a challenge.
They're happy that I'm moving on. And at that time, I was like,
Mhm.
the one who has seen the light in the family.
In the family.
Yeah,
So if every call is
Yes, every
help us, bro.
And I thank God because in my heart,
Mhm.
I always want to help people. As
Good.
far as I'm helped, as far as I have,
Mhm.
and I always tell God, help me so that I can help more.
Mhm.
So I could help as much as I could.
As you could.
My brothers were in school, I helped them.
Mhm.
I helped my sisters in school.
Mhm.
Those who were already outside, some of them were already in marriage,
Mhm.
and they were also going through challenges.
Mhm.
So I also had to help them. So, and God helped me.
Wonderful. Now, tell us about your marriage. You have money now. You can afford
I can
a
afford,
good housing.
yeah.
You can, I don't want to ask you whether you bought a car,
Mhm.
but now you can have a decent meal.
That's right.
Unakaa maisha poa
Kabisa.
ya kijana barubaru mwenye sasa
Ehe.
kila
Mwenye
msichana
ameokoka bado.
ameokoka, lakini kila msichana anaangalia anaona this is I should start something with this guy.
Exactly.
Yes, your marriage.
Marriage, sometimes it's okay because I didn't grow up as a bad boy. Let me say that.
Mhm.
I didn't run up with girls when I was young.
Yes.
No. I got born again at the age of 13, 14,
Mhm.
and then I was just like my pastor. I love him, Bishop Simon McCoy. He taught us how to be pure as a young man.
Sure.
And get that.
Good.
And we didn't joke around with girls.
Mhm.
So, but I don't know what happened when we were coming to now. I want to get married. I had a girl I loved so much, and this girl was like, but to some extent, I thought she should exchange me. I don't know what to say. Everyone has a story.
Exactly.
I'm a married counselor.
Mhm.
Maybe she can come here and she has her own story. So I don't want to say much about her.
Mhm.
But things didn't go well
Mhm.
because my first time
Mhm.
to be with her on bed, she got pregnant.
The first time.
Yes. I've never been with a girl,
Mhm.
and this is my first time.
Mhm.
And I never knew about it
Mhm.
until she was 9, until she delivered. Okay?
Let me ask you.
Yes.
She's pregnant.
Yes.
She never showed up again.
Yes.
She disappeared.
She disappeared, and by that time there was her sister, a younger sister, who used to come to my house. Who is
Her
now-
sister.
Yes, because we are like, I
Family.
called her to come here for a job,
Mhm.
so I gave her a job. My fiancé was by that time. She told me she was doing nursing. I came to realize later that she was not doing the nursing because a friend of mine told me he wants to give her a nursing job in a local hospital. So I was happy
Mhm.
that my wife would be a nurse.
Mhm.
Yes. Remember, I wanted also to be a doctor.
Exactly.
But now I came to realize that she didn't have. She told me the college was banned, there was no papers.
Or she cheated you.
So that's what I can say.
Yes.
Now she's here, but now you see when she comes back, kind of, they say love is blind.
Mhm.
So she came back and I forgot all that. So we were still moving, but we are not married at that time. Remember, we are still waiting for a wedding. And I tell the Christians and brothers and sisters, wait for a wedding. When you're born again, don't move around with girls. Don't move around with, when you're a girl, don't move around with men. You're destroying your marriage. So that's how I was taught, and that's what I still believe. Although I had sex before marriage. I have to admit that, and I tell God to forgive me. I talk to my pastor, and all that. Okay, that part we covered it with pastor. And now, remember, there is this now. She got pregnant, and she never told me about it.
She disappeared.
That is what hurts me even until today. But I wanted to say that because now I had to get another girl to marry. I did it. Okay, I married another girl. And my parents were not happy about it.
They just disliked her. Was she from your community?
Not more than my community. We met her in another church.
Another tribe?
Another tribe. So, who is my wife now? You see, I have to say that. She's
Wonderful.
my wife. Yeah.
Wonderful.
And when we married, together life was good. But you see, remember now, this other lady has my son.
Sure.
So, and now she has a backing of my family.
Oh. So your family loved the first girl.
Yes.
They liked her more than the one now you want to marry.
Yeah, I can say that. But now I think that thing is gone. But my wife still maybe thinks that is the thing, but that's not the case. Well, now I had to stood in as a man. And I said, no, I think your chance was gone. And you're not getting married to my brothers, my sisters. You are married. If you are to get married, you are to get married to me.
Yes.
But now that is gone, I'm now married. So we came to kind of settle with her that she has to understand I'm married, but she has my son. Okay?
Okay.
So I tried to help her. I supported her to some extent. First, I refused because how can you come after the 9th month tell me this is my son?
How sure am I?
How sure? And you don't call me directly. You tell my friend to call me. Call Aswani, tell him I have a son, his son. I can't. Bro, it was not something good, and it's not.
It was not easy.
I'm born again. Remember, I've been living for this at the age of like 28 and 26. How? After all this time, but I had to say no. I'm not just taking you because you're my child. No, I'll support. So I think we kind of moved to some extent, but now she got married.
Or to somebody else. Then with the son.
Yeah.
Okay. Now you're current marriage.
And now I'm married. Got married.
Of course, a church wedding.
Of course, no. I'm sorry for that.
Okay.
Remember, that's why they didn't want to say because it was like a revenge kind. I show you I can marry even without the church. It has its own consequences to anyone, and I will not encourage any boy or any man to do such a thing. It has its own consequences.
Yes.
And I have faced it. My brothers, my sisters know I faced it.
Yes.
And my wife knows I faced it.
Yes.
But I've gone through it.
Sure. By
the grace of God, God has helped me go through all those challenges. Remember, there is always the aftermath.
Yeah.
It doesn't go well. But I thank God I was born again. I had brothers and sisters who were born again. My friends were born again. Pastors who also helped me told me you're not the first one. You have to all that. But any man who's not married, any girl who's not married, I encourage them. Get married to the church.
In the church.
Please.
Let me ask you, how were you? How did you handle this? How were you able to help your wife now that she's being rejected? How were you able to help her overcome this rejection from your family?
Yeah, I always say be there for her. She has to know that you're there for her. And to some extent, maybe she thought I was not for her.
Mm.
Because also,
Mm.
we got in marriage, we got our firstborn child.
Mm.
That is now where things started working around.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
My firstborn child is 13 years now.
13 years.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And even this other boy is not far. He's like 14. So you see,
A difference, a span
Yeah.
of 1 year.
span of
The
1 year.
difference. Mm-hmm.
So he was born normally,
Mm-hmm.
but there was a delay in being born.
Mm-hmm.
He was to be born 3 a.m., but he was born at 7. So there was brain damage.
Mm-hmm.
I rushed. I went to the hospital. They told me to take him to Kikuyu, the Kenyatta. He stayed in the theater for 3 weeks, 4 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
They say he has to cry. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So he cried after 3 weeks,
Mm-hmm.
and we got out. Kumbe that time he had a problem with his brain.
Mm-hmm.
Until today.
Until today, 13 years.
Yeah, 13 years, he cannot talk, he
Mhm.
cannot walk, he can't sit properly.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And I'm telling you, that's when people can tell you how you've been bewitched,
Yeah.
what happened,
Mm-hmm.
how all this is happening because of this.
Because of this wife.
Because of this wife.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? But thank God because of my wife. She was born again.
Mm-hmm.
And even all this, my brother,
Mm-hmm.
we divorced for 2 years.
You're divorced.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Because things now didn't really go well.
Mm-hmm.
My job, I lost my job. I became jobless
At KK.
at KK.
Mm-hmm.
My wife now, it was so difficult
Mhm.
having a child that only can feed on Weetabix
Mm-hmm.
and put on Pampers
Throughout.
throughout. Nothing else.
Mhm.
And there's no job.
So Pampers daily, Weetabix daily.
Yes.
A lot of it.
I thank God because of my brother Patrick.
Mm-hmm.
He gave me 10,000 shillings to start selling ladies' shoes.
Mm-hmm.
I give it as a story. I sold those shoes, and finally I found myself with one shoe. I don't know how it happened.
It's strange. You bought stock for 10,000.
10,000.
You sold all of them, but eventually you found yourself with one.
Yeah, I did that business for like 2 months, but I found myself like I had 2 shoes, but of different. This is right, like of the same.
Yes.
Okay, so you cannot even put them on.
Yes. So it means somebody else somewhere bought shoes of the same.
Yeah, and that business
Yes.
went.
Yeah.
And there was that struggle. That was the time at least my wife got sick.
Mm-hmm. Depression.
Depression.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we parted. And she parted with my son. She went.
She went with that boy.
Yes. It was so painful.
Now you are alone.
Alone. Now that is now worse.
Mm-hmm.
I think of the son. How is he? But I thank God because my brother, my wife loves our son.
Mm-hmm.
My mother-in-law loves our son.
Mm-hmm.
So to some extent, I prayed, I
Mhm.
fasted all that time.
Mm-hmm.
That God help my wife wherever she is. Okay. Thoughts came that maybe I marry. I went back to, by that time, this other lady,
Mm-hmm.
I think to some extent, there were issues with the husband.
Mhm.
So I went for the other son.
Mm-hmm.
She told me, no, you're not taking this son because he's already, everything has been taken care of. I've changed the birth certificate,
Mhm.
everything. So he's no longer your son.
And you are still born again
I'm still born again.
by that time.
Yes.
Mhm.
I didn't go back, thank God.
Mm-hmm.
And God was working something in me maybe
Mm-hmm.
through all these problems.
Mm-hmm.
I became a pastor.
Still without your wife
Still then.
around.
Yes.
Now, let me ask you, when she went, you divorced her.
Yes.
Were you still with, okay, she was with one boy.
Yes.
So there was still another boy who was to come, because you
Yes.
told me there's a boy
Mhm.
that
Yes.
is.
Mhm.
Okay.
Now, she didn't want to hear about me.
Mm-hmm.
I tell you, she changed like 5 numbers.
So that she can cut off communications.
But I was praying,
Mm-hmm.
God, if she's mine, let her come.
Sure.
And remember, there's another lady here, but she's already married, so I cannot even go back to her.
Sure.
So this one, thank God for brothers like Brother Lenny, Pastor Mother, who stood with me. It was tough, but they stood with me. And finally, she gave someone number and tell that man to call me. I called her. It was like a dream, but okay. It was, sometimes I tell people, this marriage is not a bed of roses.
I know.
And it was sometimes chaotic, sometimes like, and I'm telling you, there are people who are still like, we want to see where they're headed to.
Sure.
Because you see, but now I'm like, God, you have a reason. Help me go through this, okay? And we went through it all, and pastors came.
Yes.
Became a pastor. I told you, I went through a college, someone sponsored me, became a pastor. Pastors came and they said, no, you must have a wife. Okay? So, and I tell people this story because I want it to be like an encouragement to others, because you can go through all these things, but God will still restore you.
Sure.
Will still bring you back. My wife came back. My son,
Willingly.
My son came back. So I was happy. And we started another marriage, another life altogether.
Yes.
We did a church wedding now.
Wonderful.
That's why I have a ring on me.
Yes.
And life, it was another different life altogether. That's what I'm saying. I don't regret, but there are consequences.
Yes. And you have to pay for them.
I paid it for like 13 good years. And I went through hell. No job. Sometimes 2-3 years, no wife. Okay? All that. You are rejected everywhere. But by the grace of God, He helped me come back. And by that time, the church was now coming up. My wife came, and I thank God because she's really an instrument to me in the church and in the marriage family. Yeah, because she decided now even to go to. She's doing biblical studies in Park University. Just to support me as a pastor. And also, she wants to do, maybe probably next year, she wants to do special education because of our son.
Sure.
We have a children's home, and we'll talk about it later. And that children's home came because of our son and because of my life.
Wonderful.
Experience. And now we want her to go through it so that we can help needy children. Yeah.
Now, your second born.
My second born? Yeah, my second born, Gracious, her daughter, she's okay. But now she had to live on her own. She came in after 13 years. You see? After like, like 12 years, that's when she came in. So she was now to like, we were really attached to Sammy, my Prince Samuel, my firstborn. But now when she came in and she was to struggle, and she's okay. I have also a third born. She's called Praise Linda. She's fine. We have our last born. I think we are up to that point now.
They are 4.
Yeah, they are 4. All of them are okay. The 3 girls are okay. It's only my son who is challenged physically.
Wonderful. Now, man of God, tell us about ministry. Now that you have married, you've gone all these challenges in your marriage, your wife has gone back to her parents, she has come back. Now, tell us about ministry.
Ministry? Okay. Ministry, I can say we started the ministry. I started the ministry. God started it. I had no money. But one of the human resource told me, there is some 50,000 shillings for you here. Come.
Human resource from where?
KK Security.
KK.
After I left, yeah. Come for this money. So I went, he gave me. And with another pastor, I really love her, Pastor Mother. She's like 70 years, and she really respects me as a pastor. And I respect her as a pastor and also as a mom. We came together, then we started Hope Ambassadors. And it has been a challenge. I can't tell you how many times the church has been closed because of rent. But now I have 2 ministries here. We have the church and we have the children's ministry. But now the church was born by the time, and I said it was by God's divine purpose.
You sure?
That if it will come at a time I was very okay,
Mm-hmm.
then I will go for the ministry.
Mm-hmm.
But it came at a time when now I was to depend on God.
Mm-hmm.
I was to know who God is.
Mm-hmm.
And I always tell people,
Mm-hmm.
the church in Kawangware, it is standing till today
Mm-hmm.
because of the grace of God.
Of God.
And because it is the work of God.
Amen.
The church has been closed many times
Mhm.
because of rent.
Mm-hmm.
The church, people, pastors, sometimes pastors are challenging. They have come in church,
Mm-hmm.
they have broken the church in pieces. Okay? But we still stand.
Mm-hmm.
Until today, when Kawangware, we are standing. Even through the corona time, it was so tough for us.
Mm-hmm.
But God made us go through it. The church is still there and we're moving home. Well,
Now, the children's home, where is it located? If somebody wants to maybe to send something or to reach you guys for some help, and how many kids do you have there?
we are in Kawangware, 46. We are helping all the children.
Mm-hmm.
But we have a number of 16
Mm-hmm.
out of 180. The 60 children we are talking about are children that are special needs, orphans,
Mm-hmm.
kids that we took from the streets.
Mm-hmm.
And it came because of my own son. I've been doing border work to support this.
You?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And I talked to friends to come and just help us
Mm-hmm.
take care of these
Mhm.
kids.
Mm-hmm.
And I always say I have to go to border for the sake of these children.
Mm-hmm.
I have the children's ministry,
Mm-hmm.
I have the church ministry,
Mm-hmm.
but I give myself. My wife has also dedicated herself. Even my children are being just getting into it. Just
You are nurturing them.
Yeah,
Mhm.
into this.
Mhm.
Because of my son,
Mm-hmm.
who is now 13, cannot talk, cannot walk, cannot do anything
Mm-hmm.
by himself. But because of him, we are helping other children so that they can have hope. We are called Project of Hope. Why? We are giving hope to the children.
Now, is any number that we can reach you on for the sake of the children's home?
It is 0746
0746
256
Mm-hmm.
824.
Kindly repeat it.
0746 256 824.
Wow, that is nice. Now, time is not on our side, but I would like you to talk to at least two people. Face that camera, and I want you to appreciate that principle. Who decided this boy should not go back home? He should sit here come back and sit for his examinations. Kindly appreciate that one.
Okay, as I can say, I want to appreciate Mr. Joshua Chita, who really helped me go my secondary school. Also, I appreciate Mr. Eric Overvest, just helping me go through my college and also helping me have a better life. Then I will also want to just appreciate my wife, who has been standing together with me, and also Pastor Mother, who has been standing together with me in prayers and all that. God bless you so much, and wherever you are, let God do you good. Amen.
Thank you so much, man of God. Actually, it has been a journey. It has been a real journey in your life, going through all this, and you are still strong. We can see you are still strong and still young.
Amen.
Some people, when they go through such, they normally get stressed, depression comes in, and then they lose hope in life.
Mm-hmm.
Viewers, that has been the story of our brother here. He has gone through hardships, real hardships, but eventually he emerged a winner. We thank God for him, because even as he sits here, he is still saying and advising young men, please, when you do your marriages, do them in church. Don't marry outside church, because you'll eventually face the consequences. And when they come, they may be long term. So until next time, I was your host, Samson Boyd. Let's see you next week on Monday. Bye-bye.